Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Salt Talk. I am your host, Jermine Alberty, and I am so glad you've joined us for this first episode in the year of 2025. I'm so glad to be with you because we're going to talk about a very important topic, and that topic centers around change. At the Salt Talk, we talk about deep conversations that inspire, that are intended to cause you to grow, build resilience, to bring transformation, and to guide us toward our purpose. And so I am so excited today to talk about the powerful truth behind a timeless message. A change is going to come. That's our topic today. A change is going to come. Now, y'all have heard these words from Sam Cooke. These words have resonated for decades, and they serve as a perfect backdrop for understanding change, real, meaningful, and lasting change. You see, change is inevitable. What if we change how we perceive change? What if we embraced it instead of resisting it? What if we saw it as a path to growth, service, and transformation? Today, we're exploring my change model theory, which includes three critical elements: awareness, attitude, adjustment, and taking action. And we're also going to integrate the SALT model of service, affirmation, love through compassion and kindness, and transformation to make change not just possible, but purposeful. So let's dive into it. This is Jermine Alberty, and you're listening to the SALT Talk. Let's get into our first segment here. Change involves awareness. You see, change starts with awareness. It's that moment we recognize that something isn't working, that something needs to shift. But awareness isn't just about identifying those external factors. It's about looking inward. It's taking a moment to ask yourself, what areas of my life do I feel stagnant? What's holding me back from living in alignment with my purpose? And how am I responding to the changes happening around me? You see, awareness invites us to pause and reflect, and it's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. And sometimes it means facing those hard truths about ourselves or our circumstances. And here's where the SALT model comes in. Awareness requires humility, which leads us to service. When we are aware of the needs of others and our capacity to meet them, we shift our focus and we move from being stuck in our own struggles to being agents of change in the world. Here we are, this January 20th, a day set aside to celebrate one of the greatest servant leaders that we know, Dr. Martin Luther King. I'll never forget, as a AmeriCorps volunteer and eventually a director of AmeriCorps program, this 20th day of January was always known as a day on, not a day off. And I want to encourage you that as we think about what we are coming into to this new year, that we cannot take a day off and just go into hibernation or some slumber and hope the challenges that we're going to face are somehow going to just go away. No, we must declare a change must come, and a change is going to come. And so I want to invite you to reflect on a couple of things. The first thing I want you to reflect on is there an area where you notice a need for change, but you haven't taken the time to address it? And then the other question I want you to think about is, how might serving others give you clarity about your own next steps? Because sometimes the very act of serving opens our eyes to the possibilities that we haven't considered before. We said that there were 3 steps in this change model, and the next step is change involves an attitude adjustment. You see, once we are aware of the need for change, the next step is just that, an attitude adjustment. And this is where affirmation comes in. Changing our mindset starts with affirming what is good and true about ourselves and others. And often we resist change because of our fear, and not only our fears, but often our uncertainty. And we tell ourselves things like, I can't do this. What if I fail? What would people think? I wanted to encourage you to shift that internal dialogue. And instead of, I can't, say, I'm capable. Instead of, what if I fail? Ask the question, what if I succeed? Instead of, what would people think? Affirm within yourself, I'm following my purpose. You see, an attitude adjustment also means adopting a posture of love, not only love for yourself, but love for others and a love the journey of change. I want you to ask yourself as you reflect, what are some affirmations that I can use to counter the doubts I'm facing? And also, how can I show compassion and kindness to myself during times of change? You see, when we approach others and ourselves with love, we create spaces where transformation can happen. Well, I mentioned that change begins with awareness and then attitude adjustment. That third step is change includes taking action. You see, awareness and attitude adjustment lay the foundation, but nothing changes until we take action. This is where transformation happens. Transformation doesn't require monumental shifts, not all at one time, but it often starts with small, consistent steps that lead to significant progress over time. Some examples could be, maybe it's having that tough conversation that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's starting a new morning routine that aligns with your goals. It could even be volunteering for a cause you care about or taking a class to learn a new skill. Whatever it is, here are two key words. Move forward. Let me say that again. Two key words. Move forward. Here's a tip. Break those actions that you know you need to take into manageable steps. Instead of saying, I need to completely change my career or I need to completely change some kind of major aspect of my life, just start by exploring what excites you. It could be taking a class. It could be expanding your network. It could be updating your resume. But whatever you do, two keywords, remember, move forward. When we take action, actions rooted in service, affirmation, love, and transformation, our personal growth has a ripple effect. It inspires and empowers those around us to embark on their own journeys of change. Let's reflect just for a moment. Think about one small step you can take this week to move toward change you desire. Write it down, commit to it, and share with someone who can hold you accountable. Listen, as I conclude this podcast, I just want you to know that I know change isn't easy. But once again, it is necessary. And when we anchor that change in awareness, attitude adjustment, and action, guided by service, affirmation, love, and transformation, we create a ripple effect that touches not just our lives, but the world around us. So here's my challenge for you. Embrace the change that's calling you. Use the SALT model as your guide and be the person who steps up with awareness, shifts their attitude with courage, and take action with love and purpose. And as Sam Cooke song reminds us, a change is going to come. But it's up to us to be active participants in that change. So until next time, stay salty, stay purposeful, and keep transforming. This is Jermine Alberty, and this is another episode of the Salt Talk.